It was all on the line Thursday as the opening night of the 15th annual Featherlite Fall Jamboree was set to settle the championship. However, an evening rain shower made completing the night impossible, and the feature was ran early Friday evening. Ryan Gustin was the dominant car, earning the feature win, but Rodney Sanders ran second and came away with the championship by 7 points.
Yeah, I knew, I was trying to lead a lap early, but we were side by side a lot at the line, and I knew at one time I passed him for the lead, and I thought I was kind of clear to slide up in front of him, but I didn't want to take the chance to not be clear and get a flat tire or something. But yeah, I knew I saw the board at the end and saw Hughes up on the board. I knew he had a provisional, and I was just glad to get over with, and feels good, that's for sure.
Tommy Weeder had the yellow on lap 32. Are you thinking, oh, great, here we go?
Yeah, kind of. I saw him pull in, and then 12 on the board, so I knew that was him. And then Todd was counting down the cars, the rundown, and I saw that heard that Hughes was up to 5th, and I was just thinking, man, we got to get this race over and just need to finish where we are, or maybe even get the win. But just a little short for the win, but it was still a good points night to get the championship.
What's all this say about your team, your crew? I know Brandon Davis was watching home. I was texting back and forth with him a little bit earlier tonight. He's very proud of you.
Yeah, he's. It wouldn't be possible without Brandon Davis. He's been a tremendous help to me and my crew chief, Grant Snyder. It's just a lot of times me and him, and he does a really good job. And I got a lot of great sponsors. Kimride Transport, they do a lot for me. My dad, he's at home. He couldn't make it, but it feels good to get a win. And yeah, it's I'm glad it's over.
In Friday's feature, Kelly Schrock got out early and pulled away for his first Jamboree victory since 2005.
Well, I tell you, you just we've all been there. We saw it in the front, in the rubber, middle of the rubber, back to rubber. You just, that's part of the luck. You got to have the luck to get in a redraw and draw that number one. So when that track does lock down like that, you're up front, and you got to have a car obviously you can stay there with, and being out front on the rubber, you just don't know how fast to go. And we set a pretty good pace early, and then it's like, all right, we didn't see anybody, and I just backed off a little bit more. Just you just don't know on how long that tire's going to last. But I'd say we had plenty of tire left, so it wasn't really too much of a scare. But when you're out front, you can run your own lane, and so clean air. I don't know if it's anything to do with aerodynamics, but clean air sure is nice for a change, that's for sure.
Well, and you talked about putting yourself in that position. You had a good run in your heat race. You feel like you got the car where it needs to be, and maybe a little bounce in your step has certainly been a nice uptick for you.
Well, I tell you, you just get behind a little bit on technology and just get behind a little bit, and you try to find the magic a tenth or 2/10 or 1/10, and I don't know if there's any one thing that you can change that make a tenth. I think we added up like 5 changes we made to the car coming here to Deer Creek, and I think them 5 things maybe added up to a tenth. So we're looking for small numbers on a stopwatch, but it's sounds like a small number, but it's huge when you get out on a racetrack.
Saturday night, the winner's purse swelled to $8,000, and with 60 laps the distance, the stage was set for a dynamite finish at Deer Creek. Johnny Scott led the first third of the feature before Hughes rolled underneath him for the lead, which he never gave back. Terry Phillips made it interesting at times, but never got closer than Hughes' rear bumper. The win is Hughes' 4th in the Jamboree's biggest race.
We started out just a little tight with the moisture on the track, but once it kind of blowed that off, the car was great. Just roll in there and barely turn the steering wheel, pick the throttle up, and she was going. So we've been real happy with the car the past couple of months, and hopefully we can carry that on through these next few big shows.
Well, it's kind of been a range of emotions for you. It'd kind of be remiss if we didn't kind of touch on that a little bit here. You definitely end strong on that. Will that be the kind of the resounding theme here as you leave Deer Creek and the Jamboree?
Yeah, that'll be what we leave here with, because we don't want to remember the other stuff. When you get a racetrack like this, you can race on it and qualify. When you got a racetrack like we had Thursday night, you can have the car twice as fast as anybody in front of you. You're not going to qualify, but they put us on it anyway, and we had to take what we got.
You're pretty subdued. You're kind of a low-key kind of guy. What's it take to get you fired up behind the wheel of a race car? And you've really owned this racetrack, at least this season.
Oh, I try to stay calm, but I mean, if you've been around very long, you've seen it get fired up out there, and I usually don't mess around long. I let people know how I feel about things. That, sometimes things happen on the racetrack quick, but you kind of get over them things and go on and race. But you just usually in the race car, you got to stay calm so you can finish the race.
I don't want to make light of this win at all, but looking forward, a lot of big money races left that haven't been here in the past. You got to give some kudos to Staley for stepping out there and getting a few more races worked in. At least, the next 2 really big ones, Lakeside and Salina, and the one being at your home track.
Yeah, there's 3 good shows coming up, Lakeside Slide and then down to Baytown at the end of the year, which they always have. And really glad they got one back at Salina. We used to race over there weekly, and they've had several 5,000 to win shows, and just glad they're getting some big shows back over there because it's a super facility.
The Sunflower Showdown at Lakeside Speedway is next up for the USMTS. Trenton Berry for USMTS.com.